So why would we rebel against our creativity? Something that we like to do, something we feel called to do. Why would we rebel against it? Why would we say no? And then later we're like, but I want to do that. People keep coming to me and say, I'm rebelling against my creativity, right? So why would I do that? So let's look at the word rebel. Let's look at the definition. A person who resists authority, control, or convention. Okay, so we all know what authority and control is, right? We got that down pretty good. Convention, definition of convention is a way in which something is usually done. So the way in which something is usually done. So how are things usually done? Doing. How do I do something? How do we get other people to do things? When I was little, how did people get me to do things? Right? How are things in which they're usually done? How are things usually done? They're done by force, shame, guilt, and manipulation. Okay, what do you mean by that, right? Quick video, we're going to touch upon these. Maybe they resonate with you. We'll find out. Teachers, do that, or the student gets mocked or ridiculed in front of everyone, right? And do that, or you get a bad grade. Even if Johnny takes a grade, gets a D, goes over it, then learns the concept, oh, I didn't put the negative in the right place. Oh, I divided instead of multiplied. So then he now learned it, right? But the grade was a D, the grade still stands. Why? That's ridiculous. We're talking about learning, not that you knew something at a certain time and date. It's like, just do you have that overall? Teachers, parents, do that or you get sent to your room. Isolation, withdrawing loves, not unconditional loving, right? Force, shame, guilt, manipulation. Religion, do that or go to hell forever. What? That's crazy, right? God is all loving, but if you don't do that, you go to hell forever. God is all loving, but if you do this, then you go to hell forever. God is all loving, but only for us, not for them. Government, do that or go to jail, or taxes. Yes, I'm all fine with taxes. I love roads. Let's not go crazy. But sometimes the laws, the taxes, the whatever, they're not compassionate, right? They're not dealt in a compassionate way. They're force, shame, guilt, manipulation, right? Control and authority. All right, and then of course going to work with your boss, right? Do it this way or you get fired, right? So when we grew up, even now most likely, when we interact with certain situations with certain people, we have learned, especially when we were growing up and we were younger, that other people got us to do things by force and control, manipulation, shame, guilt. So consciously, then we go, oh, that's how you get things done, right? And so then we start internalizing this. So all the external voices, authority figures, then become internalized. It becomes our inner critic, right? Negative self-talk. Oh, you should do that. You have to do that. You're a loser. That. So then, which is fine actually, which actually is fine to a certain point. It's fine in the, not pleasant, not nice, but it's fine in the way of productivity if, here's the big if we're doing something we don't want to do. So I can force myself, I can manipulate, I can be negative to get myself to go to work in the morning, or to do this, or to do that. If I don't really want to do it, because I can force myself and drive myself, and at some point there will be a toll on the human body and the spirit and the mind. But for a while I can definitely do that. Now where it's different with the art is when it's art, creativity, something really drawn to me. If I try and do it from that point of view, it cuts me off from my creativity. It cuts me off from inspiration. It's too harsh, it's too negative. So rebel. So why would people then rebel against the heart, the creativity, the joy of writing, the poetry, the painting, right? So here's the thing. So one day, as an adult, young adult, we stumble upon a writing class. in art class, we bump into someone's like, oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun doing poetry, and all of a sudden that's like, wow, it's great. So then we do a little poetry and we're like, wow, that was so much fun. I forgot how much fun creativity is. You don't know how many people I work with one-on-one, they're like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot how much fun this is. So so then we have that experience and we're like, oh my gosh, I need more of this. I need more of the fun, more of the creativity, more of the inspiration. I've been thinking about writing this book for 10 years, for 20 years, some of the people I work with, right? So then we say, oh, I should do this more, right? I should do the writing more. I should do the poetry more. Do you hear what I'm saying? Now there's a smile on my face, right? Because there's genuine enthusiasm, but I'm using the word should, which is the force, the control, the telling. Already it's seeped into my language, right? So now then when I plan to go do it, it's one more thing I have to do, I should do, I have to do, right? And so then when that comes along, and then we fight against that, so many of us fight against that, and then we don't do it, and then we're like, well, why didn't I do something I wanted to do, right? We're not rebelling against the creativity. Hear this, listen to this is the important part. We're not rebelling against the creativity, we're rebelling against the way I'm approaching creativity. I'm rebelling against the should, the have to, the force, the control, the authority. Because when we were younger, we weren't able to do that. We weren't able to fight back, or if we did, we got smacked down hard, or we got separated, or we had to run away from the clan and the group because we were doing outside, whatever. And so there's a part of us that's afraid of that. So, but now that we're older and we have the opportunity, we can't rebel oftentimes with work or relationship or wherever it's different situations we're at. Hey, Mr. B, rock and roll, man. So we can't really rebel against that. So then we can rebel against the creativity because that's actually something we don't have to do. That's not urgent. That's not necessary. So then we get to fight back. We get to rebel. We get to say, no, I'm not going to do that. But again, it's not the creativity, it's not the poetry, it's not the writing, it's not what's calling our heart, it's not the singing, the dancing, the gardening, the cooking, the creating the online course, the building our business. That's not what we're really saying no to. We're saying no to the force that we're trying to use on ourselves to do it. So what's one way of getting out from that? How can we stop from rebelling against the creativity, which is actually something we want to do? 2 steps, maybe 3. And I'm sure there's many different options, but this is what I've found works with myself and with the people that I work with. And it's demonstrated by Let's Create Tuesday. That's an online creativity and writing group that's being held Tuesday nights. We have a way we connect. We talk about creativity and inspiration in a fun, in a wonder, and adventure way, right? And then there's the process that we do. We actually connect to ourselves and each other in a positive way. Then we go off and create for 30 plus minutes. Some people write, some people paint, some people draw, all sorts of creativity. And then we come back and there's a way that we share about that. And we share from the positive, like a little aha, a little wonder, a little, oh my gosh, that was neat. Oh, this was cool. And so as we build this community in a new way of talking about creativity and experiencing it, we tap into, and this is the real bottom line, we tap into its joy. It fills my cup. This is not something that drains me. This is not something I have to do. This is something I get to do. Okay? And maybe you can feel this. All right, so maybe you can feel this, and my intention is to say it with enough enthusiasm that it's something really like, wow, right? This is it. Big finish of the video. Let's see if we can pull it off. So when I started Space Spiders on Prom Day, my first novel, this is what I started with, right? Blank piece of paper. And then this is what happened, okay? Now, what we can do is go, that is amazing. And I'm not just talking about the book, but I'm talking every song that you hear on the radio. It literally didn't exist. People got together and they created it out of nothing. Do you get that? Do you get how amazing that is? Every book, every television show, every piece of furniture you sit on, every piece of furniture I sit on, I can look at it and go, that is freaking amazing. That did not exist. And then people got together, they had ideas, they did the work, and it exists now. That is amazing. And we have literally forgotten that. We've forgotten that experience. We've forgotten the wonder, the joy. And now adults just go through their life, most of them, just doing stuff, right? And maybe they do a little creativity at work, or they do something like, but they have forgotten the joy of literally taking nothing and then creating something out of it. That is amazing. We have an incredible, amazing wonder, adventure power, right? And to tap into that. And when I tap into it from that place, then I can go do my writing and not rebel against it. I get to do it. It feeds me. The cup overflows. I'm a better husband, a better father to my kids. I have more energy and possibility for my clients, right? And when I wrote Space Fighters on prom day, one more quick promo, I started writing it when I had a day job, right? So I would write in the morning. I was a better employee on the days that I wrote because it filled me up and I had that energy and positivity and I had more to give. So there's no rebelling against that. So take care of yourself. Tap into that joy and shift that whole rebelling energy. I believe in you. I'm rooting for you. Have fun. You know, I was just thinking maybe we could all say that we should take up archery. And then we can all rebel against that and it'll feel good. It'd be like, I'm not doing effing archery. That's stupid. You know, that's expensive. And then sometimes the bowstring hits your arm and then you get that burn. I'm not doing that. No one can make me do archery. And then I'll go off and write more.